Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I'm Lady Snow, owner of Lady Snow Meditation. Today's topic is about how to build a quill. To start out with, you need to identify what your goals are. Is your quill to make a certain is your quill goal to make a certain amount of money? Is it to get experience for your dream job? Is it just to make ends meet? Is it a temporary work? Figure out what questions you need to ask yourself, then ask it to yourself. Sometimes writing it down will help the ideas flow, and I will say this about anything I'm talking about right now. Um, when doing this, make sure you write it down so you have a complete picture of what you're doing. You can do bubbles or just a list, whatever works for you. You can do it on a little whiteboard that you can easily buy at one of those basic stores like Walmart, or I'm trying not to say Fred Meyer's because I know it's not a lot of places. Costco probably has it. Yeah, then for the next step, you have to be completely honest with yourself about and understand what your strengths and weaknesses are. Like, if you really are good with leading people, or maybe finances, or maybe you want to be a doctor, but you're bad with blood. A doctor is actually a perfect example of this, too, because there are also different areas of the same work. Like, if you're bad with blood, maybe work with children, x rays, or be a chiropractor. Sorry, my area. Sorry, it's not my area. I don't know all the technical medical terms for those jobs. And what I'm saying though is for a lot of jobs, there's like so many types of areas. Like, if you want to be a secretary, there's legal secretary, there's disability work, there's nonprofit. There's like so much you can do with that. Like business, even business, there's so much business you could do. There's so many options. Don't think because you can't do one thing that it's closed off from you. Like, look into it more. Make sure you're responsible for yourself. This is great for employers to know. Like, I depend on other people for a ride to work. Like, I meant if you depend on other people for a ride for work, make sure you have other people. Make sure you have a second choice, like a bus or a cab. If you do something wrong, never put it on someone else. Always take responsibility. If you're late, instead of saying the person dropping me off was late, or I didn't do this right because I was not trained properly, say I'm sorry for what I did. Um, I'll work on it. I'll work on that. If you're confused, about how to do it, ask questions. Make sure you don't draw it out and explain. That eats up time and it's not proficient for your employer or you. Unless your employer asks, of course. To that, I want to say it doesn't mean that, hey, you should internalize, hey, this happened wrongly. And I was trained wrong. It doesn't mean blame yourself, but just don't put effort into that. Make a point to receive more education about whatever job you want to be in. Now, I am not saying don't don't apply and go to college, through though that can be an option. Education can be anything from class to a nonprofit education class, such as a domestic violence shelter, online training, including Google, or something, even personal experience. And those options like trade schools and like construction specific schools, there's like so many education options. Most likely your nearest job center will know information. They should know information, or you can also just Google how can I get education on this job. And it should pop up with some good stuff. Personally, I prefer to talk to somebody specifically because Google will take you everywhere. Now, somebody specific will be like, yeah, this is available, this is available, and this is available. So, do you, though, do what works for you. It all depends, yeah, how you can even say, I was a Boy Scout or Girl Scout and I sold 1,000 cookies or popcorn boxes, which is awesome for a marketing job. And honestly, Girl Scout, Boy Scouts, they do a lot. So the badges you get, you can put like, I got education in this and this and this. If it applies to the job you're applying to, it's all about how you word things. Let me give you two examples. Once I received an interview bank from from classes from a domestic violence shelter. It's not like I said in my experience, this is from here, but I had a friend who was a supervisor at a bank. She told me exactly what to put in my resume. Another example my YouTube channel is my YouTube channel. Now, I wouldn't want to put that is my business, but I can say I have leadership skills based on doing these videos. You can also use volunteer work as experience as well. Resumes are just based on wording things in a professional and efficient way. It is always best to practice interview skills. Now, I think this might make a good video on its own, so I'm not going to go into much about it, but is always important to memorize your responses to questions you feel like might get asked, and look up questions that are important that are asked in whatever job you're applying to. The important thing is to be prepared for anything. Like, always be prepared. And um that goes into being on time. Being early is best because you never know what might happen. And being efficient at your interview shows that you would be efficient on the job. Then you want to get started on working on networking. This can be through groups around town using LinkedIn, Indeed, Facebook, Pacific Facebook groups, or those similar platforms, which can be helpful as well. Which there is a bunch of places you can go to. Let me know if you would like more information on where to go, because there was a ton of places you can go to for this. And I will put a comment down in the thing below if people want more information about where to go for those kind of things, but not if no one asks. So if you want that information, let me know and I'll do that for you guys. Work on meeting and surrounding yourself with successful people. Like how I said, I knew a supervisor at the bank that I applied to. Sometimes it can be asking the right people the right questions. Make sure you expose yourself to new environments. Be prepared to make friends anywhere you go. Join events, seminars, or meetings that may be similar to the work you want to get into. Be in areas that those successful people might be in. The last thing I want to say is to make sure that you are visible, that you are seen, and make sure people know you by name. Of course, this also means always leave a good impression. You could meet some and try your best to leave a positive and lasting impression as well. You could meet someone that knows about a job or even a boss. You never know who you might meet. You might meet the best friend of somebody. You never know who you might meet. That's the fun part of life. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share my videos, and click the bell notification to stay updated. Also, like me on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram as well. I also have a fan page on Facebook and Instagram too that I will put in a link in the space below. Stay tuned. I'm getting ready to start up my restaurant, Tree Cup, when where I will be selling local chocolates from different cultures around the globe. I'll also put a link to that one below. I would love to hear from you all as well, so leave a comment below. You're welcome to ask any questions or suggest a topic as well. I'll see you next Wednesday at 8 a.m. Love you all. Have a wonderful day.